So in this video, I will be sharing 5 telltale signs that he is a good guy. So the first sign is this man is patient and consistent while courting you. He doesn't go weeks without contacting you. He doesn't pressure you to take the next step or sleep with him even though you're not ready. He is willing to be patient and to stay by your side. There are a lot of men out there who appear to be gentlemen, but they will literally contact you once a week, once in a blue moon. They're always kind of keeping you on your toes. This is a telltale sign that he is not a gentleman, or perhaps he is, but he's just not ready to settle. Us women, we need to feel protected. We need to feel secure. I don't care who tells you you want adventure and excitement and all this stuff in your life. It is a biological need for us women to feel safe before we're able to be vulnerable and nurturing with a man. So if this guy is just disappearing off the planet and not talking to you for days, or only requesting to take you out once every few months, that shows that he is not that serious about you. He has other priorities and you are not one of them. It's just the truth of the matter, okay? A real alpha male who is ready to make you his woman is going to be extremely patient. It doesn't matter if it takes you 1 year to realize he's the one. It doesn't matter if you're rotationally dating. It doesn't matter if you are not yet ready to commit. This guy is going to remain patient. He's not going to pressure you. He's not going to make you feel guilty about taking your time, because he knows that he's a catch, and he knows that with enough time you are going to realize this. So a good guy is going to be not only patient, but he is going to be pursuing you consistently. This means that after he takes you out on a date, he is going to be messaging you or calling you to set up the next date. There is none of this 3-day rule. There is none of this playing hard to get. He is a man, and he is going to make it clear that he's interested in you, that he wants to take you out, and he's going to be asking you, when are you available? Ahead of time, not last minute, okay? So when I say that this guy is patient and consistent, it entails so many other different things, because when someone is patient, that means they're not rushing you. When someone is consistent, it means that you never have to question or doubt their intentions. They make it very clear that they're interested in you. You will not need to be asking someone, you will not need to be feeling like weary or any of this stuff. He is going to make you feel safe, he's going to make you feel wanted, and he is going to be consistent in his energy. I also want to clarify that just because a guy is not consistent, it doesn't necessarily mean he's not a good guy, but it could mean that it's not the right time. And as we know, timing is everything. My partner and I have talked about this multiple times, that if I met him 10 years ago, we would not be here right now, because 10 years ago he was focused on building, he was focused on growing his career, he was focused on growing his assets, growing his investments. He was not focused on dating and wooing a woman and making her his #1 priority. So you also need to realize that you can't judge a man or blame yourself or blame him for not being at the stage that you need him to be, okay? This is also why I highly recommend that if you're a woman, you date a guy who's at least 5 to 7 years older than you. This will help you guys be on the same page, because it takes longer for men to mature. It takes longer for men to want to settle down. And if you do want a traditional provider man, it's going to take him a while to build his nest and to be ready to take care of you and a potential family. So if a guy seems to be a great guy and he's patient and all this stuff, but he's very wishy-washy, Maybe he's not taking you out all the time. Maybe he's super busy with work. Maybe you're only seeing him once in a blue moon. That can signify that he could be a great guy. It's just not the right time for him. And you can't be the one pressuring him to take the next step. As a woman, you need to let the man lead and let the man initiate. I have a whole video on this topic alone. You don't want to be the one giving off the masculine energy, trying to dictate where the relationship is headed. It needs to be his decision, okay? Or you're always going to be the second-hand person if it's your decision, right? You're always going to be the one trying to make it work. It's the man who wants to be defining the relationship and telling you what you are to him and claiming you as his woman. So keep in mind, it's not necessarily that he's a bad guy, it's just that the timing is bad. And this is just a fact. Like, once again, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just the truth that sometimes guys are in a different stage than you are. Maybe you are ready to get married and have a family and get married and all these things, but he just started his career 2 years ago. Okay, he is nowhere near being financially ready to purchase a home, to, be a provider, to do all these things that a natural alpha man will want to do. Okay, so forgive him and move on. The second sign is that he has a good relationship with his family and he takes care of them. So this is going to maybe raise some eyebrows, because I'm sure a lot of us are in relationships with a man who is maybe being taken care of by his family. And to me personally, that is a red flag, especially if this is a guy I want to marry and settle down with. I don't want my in-laws taking care of me. I want my husband taking care of me, okay? And this actually brings up a whole nother topic of like old money versus new money and the pros and cons and what I personally prefer. You can probably already tell where I'm going with this. I will film a whole nother video on that topic. But long story short is, you want to be with a guy who is at that stage where he is taking care of his family. He is taking them out to dinner. He is helping them with their bills. He is helping them, right? Because he should be at that stage where he is able to provide for people. And right there's your sign. If he is willing to take care of his mom, his dad, his siblings, if he makes you a part of his family, he is going to want to take care of you, okay? And you can lie all you want, but deep down within any woman is a deep desire to want to be taken care of, to want to be loved, to want to be provided for by our husband, not by a relative, not by someone else, even not by our jobs. We will get way more fulfillment from being provided for by the person that we marry. And it also gives men a sense of pride and achievement when they are able to do that. So not only is it a good sign that he has a good relationship with them, but if he is taking care of them, that is like double brownie points right there. My partner actually built his parents the home that they live in, like from the ground up. They literally designed it and he built the whole thing out. And that was just the biggest turn on for me when he told me that, because it showed that he had a desire to take care of his loved ones, to take care of his family. And my partner has told me so many times, like, he doesn't value friendship that much, but for him, family is number one. Like, he works for his family, he invests for his family, he does everything he can in his power to make sure that his family is taken care of. And I do want to make the distinction. You still want to be his priority though, okay? Because there are some men who will take care of everyone else but you, okay? So you want to make sure that you're not like option C or D. Yes, he is taking care of his family. Yes, he is doing these things for them, but you are still number one in his eyes, and he would do even more for you than he does for them, okay? So this is a very big sign, and you're going to tell this early on. Does this guy talk to his family? Does he spend time with them? Even if they live far away, my partner is literally in a different continent, a whole different country than his parents, and he makes it a ritual to FaceTime them every single night. Now, if that doesn't show you that this man cares for his family and takes care of them, I don't know what will. But like, even my mom, when she found that out, like, she was like, that just shows his character. That shows how pure his heart is, that even at his age, even with all of his responsibilities at work and with me, he makes time for his family and he cares for them like no other. That is a huge sign that you're dealing with a gentleman. There are guys that I've dated in the past and they had the most troubling relationships with their sister, with their mom, with their dad, and that already tells you all you need to know. If he can't really maintain a good relationship with his family, how do you think he would be able to maintain a good relationship with you? You are at this point not even, you're not even at the same level of family, and he's not even doing that for his family. Why would he do it for you? Okay, there are obviously exceptions to this rule. There are people who have very traumatic relationships with their family. Perhaps they were abused. Perhaps, there were other things going on. But once again, we are talking about generalizations here. If you see that this man is taking care of his family, he loves his family, he is providing for them, that is a sign that he is a gentleman and that he is a true masculine figure. The next sign is he is respectful to everyone. Now, hear that again. He is respectful to everyone. Busboys, janitors, waiters, receptionists, cashiers, everyone. He treats everyone equally. This says so much about a person's character, because not only are they just kind and respectful when it counts, they are kind across the board. They are not racist. They are not sexist. They don't see people as being inferior to them because they have, a regular job at the store. They don't feel the need to yell or use curse words or do any of these things to show that they have any sort of dominance, okay? This is a very, very crucial one, okay? Because there are men out there who are nice to their family, nice to their girlfriends, but when it comes to going out in public, they will make a scene at a restaurant. They will be so rude and mean and disrespectful to people, and that is just so far from being classy or elegant. I personally don't want to be around someone like that. I always uphold a very, very high level of integrity no matter where I am. I mean, I'm that person who I will go to a restaurant and let's say my food is undercooked. Maybe it's bland, maybe I hate it. I don't even care if I paid $100. When the waiter comes around, I say thank you and I tip accordingly. So that is just who I am. I know not everyone is like that, but I think it's so important to give people grace and to realize that things can be taken from you in a minute. Like, it doesn't matter if you're the queen or if you are the CEO of a company. You need to treat everyone with kindness, compassion, respect, and it speaks volumes about who you are as an individual. As we know, money comes and goes, but character stays the same. Character remains. Actually, a lot of studies even show that as you get richer and attain more wealth, your attributes are exacerbated. So a lot of people think, oh, I'll become generous once I have money. No. If you are stingy and greedy right now, you will be even more greedy and stingy as you make more money, as your net worth goes up. So realize that whatever character traits you have now, you're basically stuck with. And so when you're dating a guy, when you're going around and rotationally dating, or perhaps this is someone you're already with, make sure that you never feel shame being around them, right? This person should actually make people feel comfortable, make people feel like they can be themselves. And if they are over here being rude or disrespectful to service workers, that is a telltale sign that they are not a good guy and they are far from a gentleman. Next up, we have this guy supports you. And support can mean so many things. There's a whole umbrella. He could support you emotionally. He could support you physically. He could support you financially. You want to be looking for all of these things. And obviously, you're not going to know this on day one, but situations will tell you who this person is. For instance, I broke my foot in 3 places just several years ago. I had only been with my partner maybe a year. He was willing to drive me to my clients' homes, to literally pick me up, like physically, and carry me down the stairs, help me when I got out the shower, help me put on my shoes. He was literally my backbone. That is a definition of being supportive, is being a person that you can rely on in good and bad. It's easy to be around someone when things are good and things are great. The times you really want to be looking and observing are when things are not good. When you're sick, when you're feeling down, when you're having a bad day. Is this person there for you, or are they just shunning you and like, oh, get over it? How do they respond when you are hurting? These are all the different times when you really need to be looking out and observing if this person does support you. Okay? It's easy to pay for a date. It's not as easy to be there when someone's struggling, when someone needs advice, when someone needs counsel, when someone really needs help. So make sure that this guy is there for you in every level, in every sort of sense. You should know that, wow, he's someone I can count on. And the last, but probably the most important sign that this guy is good and benevolent is he makes you feel safe. He makes your heart feel protected. When you're around him, you feel at home. This is just one of the most difficult lessons for me to learn personally. I've talked about this in previous videos, but when I was young, I craved excitement. I craved the butterflies in my stomach feeling. I craved that feeling of like sweaty hands and like getting anxiety before I met up with someone. These are bad signs, and I don't think a lot of us realize this, because a lot of us have been told that like butterflies in your tummy mean that you have a connection, or that, you know, getting nervous before a date is normal. And of course, to some extent, we're all gonna get nervous before a first date, a second date, a third date. But after enough dates, that feeling should go away, okay? And it will go away with the right person. This man that you want to spend the rest of your life with should make you feel at home. He doesn't make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. He doesn't make you feel like you might say or do something that's wrong. He accepts you for you, and you are allowed to let go and surrender and be in your feminine energy. You don't need to be this masculine person trying to take over and control. Generally, when we do that, it's because the guy isn't leading the way. The guy isn't showing us that he's the masculine person that we need. So we start acting like we're in that role, okay? So it is a bad thing if you are always the one that is leading and initiating. I mean, obviously that means you're in your masculine, but not only that, it means that you don't feel that safe. Because let me tell you, once you feel safe and protected around someone, you can finally let go, okay? It's hard to put into words, but like, my fiance was one of the first men, probably the first man in my whole life that I felt that I could just be, and that was enough. I could just be in his presence. I could be completely quiet, not even say a word, and that was enough. Because he made me feel at peace. He made me feel at home. With him, my heart felt safe. I didn't feel insecure. I didn't feel unworthy. I didn't feel like I had doubts and fears, because I knew I was in good hands. I knew, like, breath of fresh air. This guy will take care of me. This guy will love me. This guy will be my backbone, my pillar through good, through bad. This guy will not judge me on my bad days. This guy will not bring up my weaknesses. This guy will not hold things against me. This guy will not judge me for my past. I can go on and on and on because I am very passionate about this, but this is just my comment to you, whoever is watching this video. Find someone who brings you peace and who makes you feel safe, because naturally we all deserve that as human beings. We want to be around people who make us feel at ease. Like, we just don't need to try so hard. We can just be, and that is like enough for them. That is more than enough. That is ideal for them. So that wraps up this video. Those are the 5 signs that he's a good guy, that he's a gentleman, that you are in good hands. I truly hope that these are things that you see in your husband, in your boyfriend, in whoever it is that you are dating, because this still exists. Chivalry is not dead. I do want to reiterate that, because there are a lot of people saying that, oh, that's so old school, that's like traditionalistic, there's no such thing as that. There is, and you need to be hopeful, and you need to believe that there is, because I know I got to a point where I was like, I don't know, my heart is not feeling very safe. My heart is going through it, and you know, I just felt a lot of anxiety and nerves and all this stuff, and that was an unnatural feeling. And finally, when I met my fiance, I knew that he was home. I knew that we were just at peace together, and that nothing could break that. Nothing could come in between that. Nothing could tarnish that, because we would uphold each other like no other. We would uplift each other. We would empower each other. And when you find someone like that, you will feel protected, you will feel secure, and your whole life will change. You will show up as a different person in your business, in your friendships, out in the world. People will notice. So I hope that this video was helpful. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!